These are the Farlands, and I'm about to reach them in 1 hour. There's just one small problem. They're kinda far. 12,550,821 blocks far, and I have to travel all of that in 60 minutes. Is this even possible? Well... Okay, but how? The Nether. Traveling in the Nether is much faster because when you leave the Nether, your coordinates are multiplied by 8. But even by using the Nether, I would still have to travel over 1.5 million blocks, which just isn't possible in under an hour. But what if there was a way to multiply your coordinates by 8 without leaving the Nether? And what if you could do it multiple times to travel those 1.5 million blocks in a matter of minutes? That would make getting to the Farlands so much easier. If only... Oh, this is just what I needed. Now let's do this. Oh wait, I still need obsidian to build all those portals, and also ender pearls to do the glitch. Now obsidian takes a long time to break. Like, a really long time. A really long time, even with a diamond pickaxe. And I have to do this 60 times. And ender pearls, I have to kill a bunch of endermen, which aren't that common. But luckily for me, there is a very simple solution to both of these problems. Duping. By crashing the game, I can duplicate items, so I only need to get 1 obsidian and 1 ender pearl, which saves a ton of time. And where can I get obsidian? In a blacksmith chest. So hopefully I spawn next to one. Alright, here goes nothing. Hopefully I get what I need. Turns out this might be a little bit harder than I thought, because villages aren't actually that common. I was going through world after world, and none of them even had a village. And sometimes I would spawn 1,000 blocks away from the nearest village. 1,000 blocks, that is so far. But finally, after resetting quite a few times, I saw something out of the corner of my eye. It was a village. And of course, it didn't even have a blacksmith. Well, at least there's a desert temple, so hopefully there are some diamonds. Yeah, there weren't any diamonds. After a few more garbage seeds, I decided to change my strategy. Instead of looking for a village, I would just go mining. And I just happened to spawn next to a cave with iron in it, so, well, free iron pickaxe, I guess. And also, conveniently, I found a ravine that had both lava and water. So now all I needed was to get a water bucket and a diamond pickaxe to actually break the obsidian. So I did the logical thing that any Minecraft player would do in my situation. I dug straight down to find some diamonds, and as I started strip mining, I could only hope to find those diamonds quickly. No way, I actually did. And thanks to this god tier luck, I was able to get obsidian within 6 minutes of loading into this world without even having to find a village. Now I just had to find some food and an ender pearl before I could start exploiting glitches. And these cows presented the perfect opportunity for me to... let's just pretend that didn't happen. Anyways, I just needed to get 1 ender pearl. But even as it got dark, I still couldn't find any endermen. After running around for a few minutes, I finally spotted one, and thankfully he dropped the pearl. 15 minutes into the run, I had everything I needed, and I was ready to begin duping. But then I ran into my biggest problem yet. And, oh no, it didn't work that time. For some reason, the dupe wasn't working. I thought this was a fluke, so I decided to try again, but it still didn't work. So I kept trying, and then I realized that I had made a very serious mistake. When I was testing the dupe earlier, I had actually done it on a different version of the game, so it wasn't guaranteed to work here. But why was I even switching versions? You may have noticed that I'm not playing on Minecraft 1.19, and this isn't even 1.16 or 1.14. I'm playing on Minecraft 1.12.1, and there is a very good reason for why I am using this exact version. Whenever an update comes out, new glitches are introduced. Those glitches are in the game until Mojang patches them, but they still remain in older versions of the game. One of the glitches I'm using is the Pearl Portal Warp, and it only works until 1.13.2, so naturally that was the first version that I wanted to test, but there were a few significant problems with this version. Mainly the lag. Oh my god, this is one of the laggiest Minecraft versions ever, and I just didn't want to deal with that. But also, the glitch was inconsistent. Sometimes it would stop working and I would have to relog to make it work again. Because of these issues, I decided to not use 1.13 and go to the next newest version, which was 1.12.2. But apparently, Mojang had already patched the glitch in 1.12.2 before accidentally reintroducing it in 1.13, so I had to go back another version to Minecraft 1.12.1. And of course, I forgot to test the dupe on this version, leading me to my current predicament. I was frantically trying to find another method that worked, but I had no luck. And as the timer kept ticking down, I realized that there was nothing that I could do. This run was officially dead. But I wouldn't give up so easily. I spent the next hour looking for a duplication glitch that actually worked. I tried everything, searching the internet for different methods, trying variations of the same method, switching versions to see if it worked there, everything. I even found a way to delete items, like actually, they're just gone. But finally, I found a way to dupe consistently and I was ready to try again, tomorrow. As I started loading new worlds, immediately it seemed like luck was on my side because I was finding village after village. But this luck was also a double-edged sword because none of these villages had a blacksmith. And after that, well, every bit of luck vanished. Reset after reset, and all I got were the same crappy seeds with absolutely no redeeming qualities. Swamps? Forests? Tiny islands in the middle of the ocean? How do I even play these? And the worlds that I tried to play, well, nothing went right in them either. I dug into a cave spider spawner. I couldn't find diamonds. The dupe didn't work. And when I went back to test why it wasn't working, it didn't work in that one spot, but it worked everywhere else. I kept resetting 2 to 3 new worlds per minute, and slowly, reset after reset, I could feel myself going insane. Well, what do we have here? Haha. But then, finally, after hours of bad luck, I got what I needed. But at this point, my brain was completely fried from the hours of resets that I had already done, and I was playing so bad. Like, really bad. I couldn't even craft. Stone axe. That was not a stone axe. That was not a stone axe either. Despite this minor setback, I was able to get obsidian in just under 5 minutes. Then I got flint and steel to light the portal and some food so that I don't die. And after that, I waited 5 whole minutes for nightfall so that I could find an enderman. Of course, I could have just gone to the nether and killed some endermen there, but I was so brain dead that it didn't even cross my mind. I was running around aimlessly until I finally found an enderman, and of course, he didn't even drop. So I kept running around the desert, and for some reason I couldn't find a single enderman, but I was finding a ton of villages. And finally I found another one, but there were some pesky mobs that I had to deal with first. Are you gonna drop? Are you gonna drop, buddy? He dropped. Now I was at the point where I had failed yesterday, but this time I was ready, and I managed to pull off the dupes perfectly. I was finally able to enter the nether, and now the only thing separating me from the Farlands was 1.5 million blocks of rough terrain, but I'm not going through it. Instead, I'm going up. Unlike the overworld, the nether has a bedrock ceiling, and the top of the ceiling is completely flat. This makes it much easier to use the portal glitch since I won't get teleported into a wall or lava. However, I could still glitch into the bedrock, so hopefully that doesn't happen. But how do I even get on the nether roof in the first place? Let's just say that ender pearls are really broken. After hours of attempts, it all came down to this moment. I just needed to pull off the glitch and then do that 3 more times, but would it actually work? No! I felt completely defeated. I had spent hours to reach this point, and to have it end like this? It was tragic, but I couldn't give up now after all that I've been through. I was determined to succeed, whether it took me one more attempt or 1,000. But I also realized that I needed to take a break. I couldn't keep on playing like this.
Bruh.
Yeah, I took another day to do this. Once again, resetting worlds until I found something good, but things were different today. 5 worlds in, this happened. I spawned right next to a spruce village and immediately saw a blacksmith. However, this didn't really mean anything as I had already looted several blacksmiths during this challenge and didn't even get obsidian once. Right now, more than ever, I needed some amazing luck, and as soon as I opened that chest, I knew that this was the run. What? 9 obsidian? What the hell? It was time to lock in. Punch wood. Craft pickaxe. Stone age. Gravel. Flint and steel. And now I have everything I need. Obsidian and flint and steel for the portals, food to not die, and ladders to glitch up onto the nether roof. The only thing I'm missing are ender pearls, but to get them, I have to wait until night for endermen to spawn. Or do I? Well, this time I actually remembered that endermen can spawn in the nether, so I duped up some obby and built my portal only to enter into the most chopped nether of all time. Yeah, I'm not finding an enderman here, so I decided to wait for nightfall. But when night finally did fall, I had a problem. There were no endermen to be found. In fact, there wasn't much of anything. Where are all the mobs? Where are they? I straight up don't see anything, man. Should I head to the plains biome? I feel like in a plains biome it'll be much easier to spot endermen. Maybe not find them, but at least to see them. Enderman, enderman, where art thou? There you are, okay. Finally, after minutes of searching, I had found him, and when I needed it the most. Oh my god, he dropped. We were so back. And now that I had everything, it was time to make the final preparations and make my way into the nether. There's the bedrock. Now we just have to get on top of it. And so here I was once again. Just 4 portal warps away from the Farlands. But I had already been here and the portal warp had gone wrong, putting me in bedrock and killing me. What if it happens again? This time, I stayed in the portal, hoping that the extra Y height would reduce the risk of clipping into the bedrock. And it seemed to work. I was only partially stuck and could easily pearl out and build my next portal, but I still wasn't sure about the consistency of this glitch. If I ended up partially in bedrock, I could end up fully in bedrock, and I would have to come up with something to survive that situation. Fortunately, I had a plan because after yesterday's disaster, I sat down and thought about how it could have been avoided, and I came up with one option. Hopefully, I won't need it, but you never know what could happen. Oh god. What just happened? And then I logged out. Yeah, this was the option that I came up with, but it meant that I had some time to think and potentially escape the situation. Thankfully, when I logged back in, I wasn't in Bedrock and was able to break the blocks that I was trapped in and pearl clip onto the nether roof again. Then, I made my way to the correct coordinates and began building my third portal. This one should put me almost 200,000 blocks out in the nether, and it does without any problems. And just like that, I was one portal warp away from reaching the Farlands. This was the moment that everything had led up to. The hundreds of resets, the dozen or so failed runs, the hours of attempts that I poured into making this happen, and now finally, I had reached the final hurdle that could end this run. It was time for one last portal warp. This is the last one. If this goes wrong, this would be really bad. I'm taking damage. I'm logging. I don't know where I am. Oh no. I'm in Bedrock. I'm in Bedrock. Come on, please. Oh! I had survived. The hardest part was now behind me, and I just had to build one last portal to return to the overworld. No more portal warps. Wait, no, what are you doing? Wait, no, just go through this portal normally. Oh, thank God. Back in the overworld, I spawn in a cave and dig to the surface because I have to downgrade my version to beta 1.7 to generate the Farlands. And that will reset all of the chunks next to me and potentially clear my inventory as well. The last thing I want is to spawn 20 blocks underground with nothing, so my main priority is to get above sea level to hopefully spawn above ground, but not so high that I fall to my death. After almost drowning because I forgot that I can't swim in this version, I reached the surface and boated to nearby terrain before downgrading my game. Surely everything will work, right? Where's my world? Why is everything here except for the world I was just playing? I start to get nervous, so I switch back to 1.12 and sure enough, my world is there, but when I switched back to the beta version, it's gone. Oh no, I did all of that just to lose to the world not showing up when I try to downgrade it? This cannot seriously be how I fail this challenge. So I decided to try one last thing. Just opening the world in 1.12 and hoping that somehow it will show up when I revert to beta 1.7, and there it was. It actually worked, which meant that it was finally time to walk to the Farlands. When I logged back in, it was clear that this wasn't the same world or even the game that I had just been playing. All of my items were gone, everything was so dark and looked completely different, and most jarringly, there was an apparent stuttering for every block I traveled. I had honestly never played this version before, but it felt somewhat nostalgic and reminded me of my early days playing Minecraft. Back then, I knew nothing about the game, and I mainly just wandered around the world exploring. Everything had felt so new and exciting back then. A feeling that vanished after playing the game for years and discovering almost everything about it. But this version reminded me of that feeling. The way the game felt, the way that I punched wood, the crafting feeling completely different, and the night sky having hundreds of faint, distant stars. I almost felt it again. Almost. Ahead of me was a long stretch of water, so I crafted a boat for what could be the final leg of my journey. Whoa, what? Oh my god! I see them! Oh my god, I did it! Wow, dude. I actually did it. After all this time, I had done it. And as I looked upon the Farlands for the first time, I felt like I was experiencing something truly new in a game that I have played for over a decade. That feeling, for just a moment, was there again. And that is how I reached the Farlands in under an hour. If you enjoyed this video and want to support my work, please share it with your friends and maybe also leave a like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all again very soon.